this first chapter, I'll show you how to create a new simple test case from scratch using Record and Playback in Katalon Studio. So what I got here is a brand new project. If you haven't downloaded the tool yet, just pause this video, hop over to katalon.com/download, install, and you'll be good to go. When Studio is ready, open it. Go to File, New Project, and this box will appear. Give your project a name, choose the type, let's go for web, and there are other options below where you can connect to sample projects or other platforms, but just leave them for now. On the left, you can see there are many folders under the tab Test Explorer. Let's go over each of them briefly. Test Profile is where to input and control the different environments that you want to run your tests on, like staging or production. Test Cases, like its name, is where all your test cases are stored. Object Repository contains all of your test objects that you're going to interact with. Test Suites is where you gather test cases according to different groups, like regression tests, smoke tests, or for one particular feature. Data Files is where you save all the files for data-driven testing, which we'll talk about in another course. Checkpoint is for implementing certain features to verify specific test steps. Keyword is where you add your customized keywords. You can find the available ones in Studio by clicking on this icon on the left here. Test Listeners is where you can create the scripts to interfere with the test steps when needed. For complex projects, you definitely need this. Reports is simply the place containing all the reports for your test suite executions. Here we have TestOps, Studio's built-in reporting and test orchestration platform. Be sure to connect Studio to TestOps to store and analyze all of your test results with advanced analytics and charts. Include is where you can use other functionalities like behavior-driven development or BDD testing and scripting. Plugins is where you can connect Studio to other applications and platforms. You can go to store.katalon.com to see all the available plugins there. Now you've created a project and understand the basic structure of Katalon Studio. Let's go ahead and create a new test case. Right-click on the Test Cases folder, New. There are two options here. If you want to put your test case in a new folder, you could choose Folder. But for now, let's click on Test Case. Then give it a name. Here, I'll name it Login since we're going to record a test case for this function. To start recording, on the top menu, click on Record Web and this window will appear. Type in the URL that you want to test here. I use Katalon's demo website, Cura Healthcare Service. Here's a quick explanation of the different sections you see here. On the left, the recorded actions will capture all the steps that you take on a web page. And over on the right, the captured objects, object properties, and selected locators will let you see more of a detailed look on all of the captured objects you've interacted with during the whole recording session. Next, when clicking on the Record button, the Cura Healthcare website will immediately open. This results in the first two actions being recorded on the screen, which are Open Browser and Navigate to URL. The same applies for every action you will take and every object you interact with on your AUT. I'll go ahead and perform all the manual steps to log into the account. Alright, I'll click on this Make Appointment button. Type in the username and the password. Log in, and we're done. Next, what we need is an element to verify this login step. I'll use this logout text in the expanded menu for verification. Right-click on the text. Point to Katalon Studio and choose Verify Element Present. Having created all the steps for our test case, close this window and we're going to run or play back this test case to make sure all steps work properly. Click on the Playback button to go through each step again. Looks like everything is good. The final status here is passed, so we can go ahead and click on Save Script on the bottom here. This dialog will appear, asking if you want to add these new test objects in the repository in a new folder. We'll discuss this section, test objects and repository, in a different course. For now, just click OK. Alright, let's have a look at our result. You can see all the recorded steps have been saved in our login test case. And all the objects are saved in the repository as well. Now let's run this test for the last time, just to make sure it won't fail. Let's wait for a few seconds. While that is going, you can switch to the log viewer to see all the details. The green tick indicates success, while the red X means the step has failed. And it's done, all green. And there you have it, how to create a simple test case using Record and Playback. Easy, right? No code needed, just perform all the steps manually and let Katalon take care of the scripting. In the next chapter, we're going to create another test by adding additional steps to this one.